Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Oh my God. Good morning, everybody. I know. Settle down. We have a show to do. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. And we meet here Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. to drink coffee, talk about the world's problems and news, and solutions sometimes to the world's problems and news. We talk news, media, culture, pop culture, sometimes comic books, and all kinds of cool
and
stuff.
Not about our title, obviously.
Obviously not necessarily about our title. Look, if you got tricked into watching this video because of my thumbnail, well, that's your fault. That's your fault. Because sometimes, sometimes your two dads are just like Housewives chewing on Bonbons. That's what it is. And I don't know how you explain that in a compelling title card. So sometimes we just put something in there that's interesting to us. Good morning, Deacon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm feeling good. I've been up for hours. I got my kids off to school. It's snack week, so I'm providing the snacks to the class, and that's the way they do this. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Actually,
What'd you
my
have
wife
today?
did that. A grocery bag full of stuff. I was just like, feed
Sweet.
those kids.
Wait, sweet. So
Feed those
she
kids.
does
Get out of
all
my
the
car.
work, and then you deliver it. So you get
Yes. Yeah.
all of the, there's
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah's dad.
Exactly. And I'm like, hey, kids, remember, Dad brought your class all this food.
I'm the one.
I brought it from my kitchen table where I found it sitting.
I
did
you. All the work.
Good morning, sir. Man, I'm in a good mood. It's the start of a new week. I got a lot of work to do. I got trade shows I'm getting ready for. I got to make some art stuff. I got to find a lot of time to avoid doing work and play my silly video game. And I've got some comics that I've been reading. I loaned this one out to my buddy. I don't know if you know about this. I loaned this one out to my buddy. Terror in the Trenches. Good. Dope. Maybe we'll talk about it sometime. Good. Okay. How are you doing?
How's your weekend? Good. I found out something over the weekend. You said wanted to play some video games. I have not got a chance to play video games in a while that I've wanted to. And I just found out over the weekend that Red Dead Redemption, the first one, the sequel, but it's the first one. It's being ported and sold. I think right now it's available on Switch. And so my daughter's got a Switch that she never uses anymore. So I'm going to use this Switch and play Red Dead Redemption again. So I get to play some video games. So
that's a Nintendo, right? That's a Nintendo thing.
Switch, yeah. All right, so let's get to our song of the day here real quick before we get to our title, so we can talk about our title for the rest of the 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. And we got to give big props to our title author too.
Talk about that. So today's song was one that came up on the playlist today. When I get to work, I go through a little routine almost every day. If you were going to assassinate me, I would be easy to just wait at the right spot at the exact time, and I will go by just about that time every day. So I do the same thing when I get to work every day, and I come in here and I turn on Spotify, and I will I'll make sure everything's going, but I turn up my music really loud because I listen to 9 hours of country music. I want to listen to something different sometimes. So I'll turn it up really loud while I'm going through the office and doing stuff. And one of the ones that come up today was because it's in the algorithm. Last week or the week before, I did a Charlie Puth song. And you'll remember I talked about this kid. We went to his concert.
Yeah.
And I really like this kid.
You were like super impressed with this guy.
Super impressed with this kid. I got to do more research and listen to a lot more of his stuff and looked into him and was just convinced that he is a modern day musical genius. So it come up on today, and I was like, this is a great song, The Way I Am, and it's kind of a positive song as well. That's just the way I am. You got to like me because that's just the way I am. And I think you would really like this song. Modern day musical genius. I think he's got an ear that's very, very rare. If you are one of these people that listens to music for all the little engineering and stuff in the background, you're not just listening for the guitar, bass, and drums. You're listening to all of the other stuff in the background, the sound effects and the other stuff. You will dig Charlie Puth. He is an engineering genius, musical engineering genius. So check it out. I like this kid. This is a very good song.
I identify with this. I'm trying to be famous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
Wait,
a good.
You're not going to try, Charlie? I just got here. I'm trying to try, and you're quitting already.
Yeah, he's quitting. All right. So show the title and explain to me, JJ, what the hell this means. Because I logged in this morning and I see my ugly mug, and I don't like looking at myself.
You're always telling me, "Hey, I want to have our title cards just be our pictures of ourselves."
I say that all the time.
You do. You tell me all the time. Hey man, we shouldn't work so hard on these title cards. And I'm like, but it's half the fun is kind of putting jokes in the title card. Well, now the joke's on I don't know who's the joke on.
On me.
Yeah, on you. Maybe it's on you. Okay, check this out. We had a comment from here's the inside of my no, that's the wrong. I did the wrong thing. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this. Here's a inside of my YouTube studio. A bit of constructive criticism. And Deke, I think this is leveled mainly at you. Your thumbnail was good. It had a simple message that made me want to check you out. The banter drove me away. The whole point of our show.
the whole point of our show, so that we can talk to each other, because we're not news reporting news people. Right. Because if you want a news reporting news people, there are 3 billion other places that you can find that at.
Yeah, sure. More credible too.
Yeah.
If it seems you have more time to not talk about your thumbnail than I do to listen to non-thumbnail chit-chat like Housewives chewing on bonbons, that may be fine. But the thumbnail attracts a different audience. I said, thanks for stopping by and checking us out. And then he replied. He was like, definitely. As people I'm getting advice now. As people develop their channel, they fine-tune what works for them and their audience. And your audience may enjoy the chit-chat and find that that's what they like about your channel. For me, I don't mind group conversations, but sometimes I get the feeling I have nothing really to say and it's just filling time. I prefer to get into the meat of the subject in the thumbnail. You can have a longer conversation, analysis, debate on the topic, and that's okay. But get to the hook within the first 20 seconds. That helps with retention. I'm going to just give him a heart and a thumbs up.
Give him a heart and a thumbs up, because he sounds like somebody that knows what the hell he's talking about. Because let me just let you know, I've been doing radio and media for over 30 years now. Morning shows in a lot of those. I think I know what we're doing. And JJ and I have had a successful podcast that had over 15,000 people a week that downloaded it, to a successful enough podcast to the point that because of our podcast, we got sent and flown to New York City to participate in a super secret Marvel to go to the super secret Marvel headquarters, which, if you remember, that was right around this time, JJ.
Oh, yes.
Like last week.
Was that 2019?
Yeah, it was like 4 years ago since we went to New York. So I would really kind of let this new person thinks that they know, that thinks that they are an expert in being a behind the scenes manager.
Now, hold on now.
Watching my show anymore. Wait a minute. Hang on. This show is designed exactly like it is. Okay. If you want a fucking news show where the news people talk about shit and they go and they have long 30-minute conversations about shit, turn it to any other place. Turn it to any other place.
Yeah.
We have a different show that is about banter, that is about me and JJ basically making a telephone call to each other.
Yeah, that's all it is.
People are privileged to listen in to our phone call. It is not a television show for you. It's not a podcast for you. It's not a video, whatever the crap this is. It's not for you. We don't make this show for you. I make this show for my friend JJ.
Yeah, he does.
I talk to my friend JJ on this show, and you get to sit in and watch it.
Yeah.
So,
and sometimes every once in a while we
have
have like an epiphany, or every once in a while we have like a really good idea, or there's a really amazing moment. But you know what? To find those moments, sometimes you have to sit through a little bit less entertaining stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of shows that I've just been like, well, that was shit.
Oh
But
yeah, sometimes we hang up and we're like, well, for a colossal fucking failure.
we have friends that have found us over the years, and that we have grown and have found us on this show, that watch this show all the time and talk to us and like listening to me and JJ's little conversation. And they do conversate with us from time to time. Almost all the time they conversate with us. So
every day we're hanging out in our
I'm not
chitter chatter. Where's our thingy?
What was that on Rumble? Was that on Rumble? That comment?
No, that was on YouTube.
Man, I don't want to go to YouTube and comment on this guy's thing.
No.
I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to be a prick. That just kind of rubs me the wrong way when somebody's trying to fucking, when somebody's like, hey, cute little shit. It's like, okay, this is one of my pet peeves, is being talked down to like I'm a fucking third grader. And he was talking down to us, and that pisses me off. He was fucking talking down to us. He was like, this is a cute little show y'all have. Now look, if you really want to be serious about it, you're doing it wrong, and you need to do it this way and this way and this way. And that's why I kind of got pissy right there, because I'm like, fuck you. I don't want a show just like every other fucking show out there. I don't want that.
Now, I will, Deacon, allow me to say, in your defense, over the last year, Deacon has tried a whole lot of times to get me to do something different. And Deacon's problem is that I am a stubborn asshole. And I'm just like, I think this will be funny. It'll work like this. And then, so a lot of the problems you see are put there by me. It's my fault.
And a lot of the problems with the show and the podcast that ran for years and years was the fact that I tried to run it like a radio show. And we ran into that because we tried different things with the podcast that didn't work out. I've tried experimental type things that worked in radio, didn't work for the podcast. And even the same thing over here. We've tried different things. We've suggested different things that has just never gone through. And it's because we
did like 4 months in a row of Cindy jokes and nobody laughed.
It was like, screw that. We throw stuff on the dartboard, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it don't, it don't. Sometimes it sticks for a couple weeks before, it loses its luster. So if you don't like our show, don't watch our fucking show. I don't want to. If you don't like our show, I don't care about your asinine fucking comments either. Okay. I could give two fucks. JJ does, but I care shits about what you think about the show.
I mean, let me just frame this in the right way. I care about your comments, and I appreciate your comments. I don't care enough to change anything that I'm doing. If you're telling me to do something wrong, I don't care that much, but I do appreciate the engagement, and I appreciate the exchange, and I will totally listen to you telling me I'm doing something wrong. Okay. I mean, I won't change.
I'll respect that, because that's how I used to be in radio. And when I first started a morning show where I was on the top 40 morning show, where I had hundreds of thousands of people listening to me on a daily basis, I was worried about offending anyone. I wanted everyone to like me. And when someone didn't like what I said or called in and complained, it really bothered me on the inside. I took that home. And I carried it with me for a couple of days. I worried on the fact that this complete fucking stranger emails me and doesn't like something that I say. And I try to engage with him to try to cover my ass and be like, but I was just, and then I got to the point, I guess this is just age. I got to the point that I'm like, I don't fucking care if you like me or not. There is a knob on the other side of that radio that if you turn it, I'm not on every other one of those channels. So turn the fucking knob and don't
I want to dig into this a little bit. Do you think part of that is just when you're young, not only young, but also early in your career, and like I had this in grad school, where like I was in grad school and the whole time I was there, I was like, I don't belong here. I tricked somebody into letting me in here, and I got like imposter syndrome. I had imposter syndrome for a couple of years straight, where I was like, I don't know how I tricked these people into thinking I'm smart enough to be here and to be having these conversations or whatever. So, I was just I felt like I was living in a shell a little bit. And I wonder if maybe that's the same thing. Maybe when you're early in your career, you're launching, most of what you need to do, but you don't know all the ins and outs, and you're figuring it out on the fly.
Green.
Yeah. So some of that might be like, you can take all of that stuff deep down to try to internalize it because you're trying to find your way. But then after you've kind of like had a bunch of experiences, you know who you are, you know what you want and believe and want to say and how you want to say it, then it becomes a lot more like, you're insulated from those kind of things, and you don't take them down to your core near as much.
Yeah.
But I am a fraud. That's true. I just own it now, I guess. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about some news.
Oh, we're not going to talk about the titles for another 45 minutes? I mean, hell, let's talk about the title for 45
That's what he told us to do. He did let me double check.
He's a professional.
He says...
I mean, we're getting free advice.
You're making fun of Tony, but I'm appreciating Tony. Tony, you get two different sides right here. You got two different dads.
Well, that's because JJ and I, that we have said 1,000 times, the reason JJ and I are friends is because we have like 3 things in common. Everything else, he's yin, I'm yang.
Yeah,
it really is.
It works better that way.
Yeah, it does.
I think it does. So, he want. You know what, Tony? In spite of your comment, we're not going to talk about this for another 45 minutes. Appreciate it, though.
Oh, damn it, JJ.
I'm sorry. I told you I care, but not enough to change. Let's talk news.
We have to talk about anyway.
So what? We got a bunch of like weird little news.
Yeah, we got a bunch of weird little stuff.
Do you want to talk about the Maui stuff?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Maui stuff. I don't know where you want to start with that.
I don't know what I had in the Maui stuff in there, so just bring up whatever I had. I'm trying to find my stuff.
Man, this morning I've been seeing. Okay.
I want to bring up. Let me find this.
This morning, what I've seen is this. It's been reported that there are 100 victims, fatal, dead. We know 100 people are dead because of the Maui fires, but there are 1,000 people missing. 1,000 people missing, which means that families and people that live on the island have called the government and said, "I can't find my cousin.
Where are these people?
Yes, where are they?
Where are they? Where are these children?"
Okay, David's saying I got the echo too. I'm gonna change my audio.
I'm thinking that your echo may be maybe with your connection.
Might be. I'm gonna restart stream whatever the hell this thing is, but it should be on my just straight mic now. Okay, so
that sounds a lot better. Look, okay, so this is what we were talking about. So these people are asking these questions. There's some independent journalists and stuff that are coming down and asking these questions, and they are getting death threats, JJ, for asking questions like, where are the children? How come there's 1,000 missing and you've only got 110 accounted for? Why were the children sent home midday through the school day? Where are these children? Were the children trafficked? What's going on? They're just asking questions, and these people are getting harassed. So I want to show you this. I told you a little bit about this, and I'm just going to show you 30 seconds of this 7-minute long interview. Okay, so this interview is about 7 minutes long. I will post it if I haven't already posted it in our Discord server. I will find it and post it here in just a bit. But there is an independent journalist named Nick Sortor. And Nick he's an independent reporter. Okay. And you can find him on SOTOR. You can find him on Twitter. And Nick went down there, and he's got people that hate him. I'd never heard of this guy before yesterday. And he's got people that absolutely hate this guy. And I don't know. But then he was on the Steve Bannon show, right? The Steve Bannon show. And well, he was on Steve Bannon show, and he was doing a live report from Maui on the Steve Bannon show, and he was in the back of his hotel. Now, his hotel is 45 minutes from Lahaina, from where the fire killed all the people. It's 45 minutes away. And he was in the back parking lot of his hotel with his camera and stuff set up doing this live shot. It's just him. He don't have a cameraman. It's just him doing this live shot for this live thing. 5:45.
Check.
5:45 in the morning. Yeah, I could hear that. At this parking lot, 5:45 in the morning. And this is what happens 6 seconds into his live report. All right. So let me pull it up here.
Hey,
here we go.
People's minds here.
Hey, what's up, Nick? I've been trying to reach you. Been reaching out to you on X. You're supposed to be meeting with people here. What victims have you had?
Okay, yeah. So this is so you're seeing this live right now. People actually tracked me down.
I thought you were staying in a tent. You said you were coming and staying in a tent, Nick. You're taking up resources.
I'm not taking up any resources here. People's minds here.
That goes on for 6 minutes. He ends up picking up his tripod and walking and still doing the interview. And the guy stays back for a while. And when he finds people, he said the guy left. When you read all of his Twitter posts and stuff, he said the guy eventually left. But if you will notice, look at the guy's mannerisms. Look, watch his facial expression when Nick first turns around. He's kind of like, he gives that little, he was not going to stop. And he immediately addresses him by his name.
Yeah,
what's up, Nick? I've been trying to reach you.
Super creepy.
Hey, what's up, Nick? I've been trying to reach you on X. You said you were sleeping in a tent. You're taking up what the frick, man? What the frick, man? So there's a whole 6 minute long, the whole interview is about 7 minutes long. And Steve Bannon at the end was like, okay, we're going to go with you, but stay right there. And we're going to go to commercial and we're going to make sure that you are absolutely safe. So stay right there. We're going to commercial, folks, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, and then so people have been checking up on Nick on Twitter. And when I checked last night, he hadn't reported in a while. And everybody was kind of getting concerned because he hadn't reported in a while. And then he updated last night. He's getting death threats for asking questions on where the children are, where these bodies are. He's not asking, crazy conspiracy shit about that we've talked about, lasers and Oprah Winfrey's, Moloch cult. We're not talking about that shit. He's just asking, how come you're saying 1,000 people and we only have 110 and it goes up by a couple each day?
Yeah.
Let us find these fucking people.
They can say that like we've only recovered like 100 people or whatever, but like I saw a video where in fact I got this right here. let me pull this up. Show this screen. This is the mayor of Maui being asked a question by a reporter.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. How many children are missing?
Can you hear that? How many children are missing?
I knew the answer to that. I would be happy to answer that.
You have no estimate as to how many children are missing?
I guess we can end this right now if you guys want. Sorry.
This is one of the biggest questions that the people of Lahaina have. You don't want to answer.
It always takes one or two to ruin it for everybody.
So he's being asked by local reporters, how many?
He says it always takes one or two to ruin it for everybody. Asshole, we want to know about our fucking kids.
Dude.
We want to know those are our children.
So I definitely don't want to cause any kind of like additional problem here, but like there's some things that are pretty obvious. If you are a local official on a small island and a bunch of kids die, people are going to get emotional and volatile very fast. Very fast.
The whole country adopts those children.
So I wonder.
Go ahead.
Well, I wonder if the part of these government officials not answering questions is because they want to make sure that they have like a means of egress, a way to get out of Lahaina before
they know that number's high. Is why they know that number's high, or they don't have the bodies.
So
that's what the one guy was asking. Where are these bodies? Were they trafficked? And they were getting pissed off at him and threatening his life for asking.
Trafficked is not the obvious answer. The obvious answer is they got caught in the fire. Right.
The obvious answer is they got caught in the fire.
Yeah.
The traffic thing is like a freaking Hollywood movie thing, but it's not out of the question when 1,000 people, thousands of those rich billionaires that live on that island, or have known to go. Oprah Winfrey used to fucking live on Epstein's Island just about. And Harvey Weinstein, if she ain't got anything to do with child sexual trafficking, then my name is Mud.
I don't know. I don't know about all of that.
I'm not stupid. There are
12,700 people that live on the island of Lahaina. Or is it the island or the town? Is it a town or an island?
The town is Lahaina.
Okay.
The island is Maui.
The island is Maui. There's 12,700 people that live in Lahaina, and 1,000 people are missing. That's like 1 in 12. It's 1 in 12. That's a lot. Now it could be from farther out parts of Maui, I guess. But oh boy, that's a lot. So we might be in the before stages of some sort of a violent incident, and I don't know. Anyway, I hope not. I certainly hope not. But I mean, it looks like some wackos are out there chasing down reporters that are asking questions. And then when reporters get to ask questions, they get shut down by the government. And this is the same government that didn't turn the sirens on and didn't maintain their infrastructure. And, you know, is all of this a big accident and now people covering their ass? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like local officials are covering their ass because they didn't do their job very well and people died. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, there was some big space news this weekend. We're just going to be all over the place. It's not organized. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Well,
Russia went to the moon.
Yeah, I heard that. And
Russia went to the moon.
It was very great.
They went to the far side of the moon. There was an unexpected incident on the backside of the moon too.
Oh yeah,
and but they landed their lunar, most of it in parts, on the backside of the moon.
They landed it very hard.
They definitely landed it. It landed for sure.
Yeah, it landed.
Right. Yeah. Russia says it. I'm making fun, but you know what? The United States of America can't put shit on the moon right now.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, that's true. Yeah.
Luna 25, Russia's first moon mission in 47 years, was the vanguard of a planned series of lunar probes. And about 2:57 Moscow time, communications with Luna 25 was interrupted. And then some measures were taken on the 19th and 20th to search for the device and get into contact, but they couldn't find it. Preliminary analysis shows that the orbital maneuver sent Luna 25 into an unexpected trajectory, one in which the moon lander ceased to exist as a result of a collision with the lunar surface. It ceased to exist. It exited existence and became non-existent. Oh man, that's okay. You know what? I would rather Russia and Ukraine and the United States be building rockets to send trash to the moon and crash it there than blowing each other up. That's what I would prefer.
Oh no!
Let's see who can put the most garbage on the moon.
Everybody's giving jet planes to Ukraine now, and we're making big, huge ass bullets now for them. And I'm not in on that. Sorry, Ukraine. I do not support you killing Russians. Also, Russia, do not support you killing Ukrainians. I don't want to be involved. Let's see. We got some other. That's pretty cool science news, though. I got one for you.
Russian
that is.
rockets.
They got to space.
Good for Russia.
I got some maybe sad news for you if you think this is sad. Oh. He's lived 98 years, but their son or grandson or one of them said that Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, it says it's there in their final chapter. He is in hospice. I don't know about Rosalind, but he is in hospice care. The former president entering hospice care in May. The Carter revealed that the former first lady was diagnosed with dementia. Hospice care is provided to patients who choose to no longer receive treatment for a terminal illness and have a life expectancy of 6 months or less.
I mean, this is the part of everybody's story if you live long enough. This
He's
is part of everybody's
he's
story.
almost 99 years old. The grandson
Yeah.
told people the former president is still fully Jimmy Carter. He's just tired. I mean, he's almost 99 years old, but he fully understands how many well wishes he's received and how he felt the love. She still knows who we are for the most part and that we are family, he said, adding, my grandmother is still able to form new memories, but she's got dementia.
Yeah, that's rough
Couple
stuff.
have been married for 77 years. 77 years.
That's amazing. He may not have been an amazing president, but it is amazing to stay married for 7 decades.
I was thinking that this morning. You know, he was a president when we were born and infants, right?
Yeah.
So when we were infants, we know nothing. I remember nothing about Jimmy Carter other than he was president, I think, in 1977 when I was born. So I've heard negative things about Jimmy Carter my whole life, about he was a terrible president and whatnot, but I honestly don't know. I've never looked into it to find out. The one thing that I did know, I was thinking about this morning. I was thinking, oh, Jimmy Carter, terrible president. I thought, why do I think he was a terrible president? The one thing I do know about Jimmy Carter is that the son of a bitch built houses for people until he was fucking like 97 years old.
Until he couldn't lift a hammer anymore.
So as much as you don't like the guy for whatever fucking reason, you've got to hand it to him for that.
For sure. Absolutely.
My God. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's done a lot. He's done a lot to help people over his life. And you can be critical of his presidency or whatever, but he went on after his presidency to work in, I think it's Habitat for Humanity. I don't know if he established it or not, but they provided a lot of homes and housing for a lot of people. So he's done more good in his life.
He wasn't one of those guys. He wasn't like everybody else, like Biden and Obama and Trump and Clinton and Bushes. He's not like all of them where they wouldn't, if they were going out to a Habitat for Humanity thing, the hammer that they lifted would be to take a picture like they were a fucking influencer and then they would go. Jimmy Carter built the houses. It wasn't a photo op. He was out there building houses. None of those other presidents would have done that. None of them. Not a damn one of
them. Certainly not Joe Biden.
Unless it was a photo op.
No, I don't even think Joe would do it for. I don't think so. Maybe go out there and smell the workers. All right. Let me ask you what you think about this, because you posted this story and I thought, oh my God, what is this?
What is Deacon?
For the first time, pig kidneys have been transplanted into a human to provide life-sustaining function. So for more than a century, scientists have been trying to transplant kidneys of animals into humans.
Before you just read the headline and go all crazy. A pig? What was pig? Oh my! Have I frozen? No.
Yeah, a little bit. You're a little choppy, a little chip choppy.
All right, am I there now?
Yeah, I mean I can hear you. You're just a little chip choppy.
Okay,
I think you cleaned up.
Let me explain to you what's happened. This person that they've put this pig kidney into is brain dead and has been brain dead for a long time. And the family's like, okay, all right, we can cut the cord. There's no chance of this person ever coming back. But their body is being kept alive by machines, and it's being kept alive. So they're not, the brain is not like completely dead, I don't guess. You know, there's just, they can't be brought back to life. So the family has opted to try this experiment. So this person is dead, but the machines are keeping them alive so that we can see how this pig kidney works with the human body. And the kidney is working good, and the body so far is not rejecting it. So I don't know how I feel about this. One, this is great experimentation for what we have in the future. But number two, I can empathize with people's religious arguments and ethical arguments. I can empathize with them. I might not agree with that argument, but I will empathize with you and accept that yes, I understand where you're coming from. But if you will remember, the only reason we have this stuff that we have today, and the reason we are so smart think about this in history. Just think about this for a second. The reason that we know the things that we know today, JJ, is because a long ass time ago in the 17 and 1800s, there were grave robbers that robbed bodies, and so that we could cut up and do experiments with bodies.
We learned a lot from the Nazis. The Nazis did all kinds of human experimentation. We got all of their information too. That's bad, but
yes. And they said that, that was one of the things that we're not going to use that. We used it. We used it.
Oh, for sure.
Look at how much the technology increased from about 1940 something on.
No.
All right. That's a whole nother argument.
America brought a bunch of Nazi doctors from
Operation
Germany.
Paperclip. Look up Lyme disease. Look, just read about Lyme disease. It's very interesting.
Okay. So its face, a kidney from a pig in a human being, straight up. That is transhumanism, right? That is taking something that isn't human and integrating it into human body, human experience.
Yeah.
A lot of transhumanists are about the cybernetic augmentation or whatever, but this is biological, not human material integrated into a human being.
Right. Yes, you're right.
I'm uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable.
It does?
It does make me uncomfortable. Yeah.
What makes you uncomfortable about it?
I don't know. Part of it is certainly that, I have a core fundamental belief that humans are special. We're not just animals. You can say we're animals, but we're not just animals. Humans are special.
I don't know.
I've
seen some humans. Yeah,
there's bad humans. In fact, all humans are bad humans. So that doesn't mean we're not special.
My animals inside my house are a lot more civilized than some of my neighbors are. So,
no. It's just like this line, and like, okay, it's just kidneys, and it keeps people alive. Okay, so just push the line 1 degree, and then push a degree, and this is the way these things do. They kind of just push the tolerance of what's acceptable. And, I'm just saying it makes me feel uncomfortable. And I don't know if I can tell you exactly why, but I mean, I guess it's some of it's maybe intrinsic value.
I can see,
right? Like if you can take pig parts and put them in a person, it's still a person. Well, then I guess you can take human parts out of a person and put them in another person, or you can take human parts out of a person and put them in a pig, put them in an animal, and then I guess we're all just animals and it's just meat. It devalues humanity.
Why are we doing that? No, JJ. I mean, why are we putting human parts into animals? We don't have enough human parts to go around now to save everybody's life. That's why we're using pig valves and all this.
Despite the fact that China's trying.
I don't know what you're talking about because there's such a fucking delay right now.
Yeah. Is it me? You think it's me that's choppy? Because the lights are
your
green.
Connection.
I
think it's your internet connection.
All right.
Because some days it's good and some days it's bad. I have the super fastest shit ever here going into this radio station, and I'm the only person here. It's not a big deal. I see where you're coming from, but I think this is a wonderful first step to saving people's lives. If you had an immediate loved one, if you had a loved one that they're like, they're not gonna make it unless we have a donor, and you're like, crap, we're gonna put you on this list, but the kidney list it might be 6 months, and we don't know if your loved one will make it 6 months. We've been doing this for 5 years now, and we've been putting pig kidneys in. The only side effect that they will have is the fact that it's a pig kidney, and they'll have to take this medicine to maybe stop the body from fighting off the kidney. They'll have to take a pill for the rest of their life. Other than that, it will keep them alive. That I'm not going to ask you what you would do, but I'm going to say in that situation, that would sure change anyone's opinion on, on this experiment. If well, I'm saying down the road, I'm not saying hey, let's be the first experimental one. Hey, we've been doing this for 10 years and we've got a lot of success with it, and some people don't like it.
So, okay. So you have, what if there's so you have obviously pig kidneys. These are biological pig kidneys put into a human and they're working. And David says that we use pig valves for hearts. And, I know that we have gotten accustomed to many other things, right? We've gotten accustomed to electronics inside of people for cochlear implants, for regulating heartbeat, for, other kind of plastic tubes and stuff like that in human beings, because, we are fed and eat garbage, and our nutrition and our health and our lifestyle is so, awful that we degenerate. And so we are patching ourselves together here. And is that so different than using biological products to augment the human experience? Or, if it's not this, it's synthetically growing stuff in a lab somehow.
I know.
Right?
There is a
You've seen that ear grow out of a petri dish?
Yeah, but there's an overseas movie about, it's like 25 years old, and I cannot remember the name of it now, but it's a dubbed over movie. And that's what it is. It's an post-apocalyptic future where they grow human parts, and there's a whole huge mafia, organized crime over growing human parts. All right.
There's another movie about that. Hold on. No, there's another movie about that too. Have you ever seen the Ewan McGregor movie called The Island?
The Island. Mm-hmm.
Yes. The Island, they had this underground facility and they grew these clones. And then, when you're a real person outside needed blood transfusion or an organ replacement or whatever, they just go get your clone who was like, oh, I won the lottery. And then they would take them up and gut them and take them apart.
That was a good movie, man. That was, because you're like,
no, it's good. I think ScarJo's in that. Okay.
Yeah. I'll say, so I got something for you, JJ. You'll like these these two. I got you some AI news.
Where's our hey, what's up, buddy? Hey. He's laughing at us.
What's his name? Gary?
Gary? I'll have to check afterwards. Gary?
Okay, so
maybe I should put him on the other side.
If you do anything with AI like I do, I have a bunch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah, 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 blah. I got a bunch. You may want to try to back them up, and you can back up your stuff with AI, because OpenAI may have to wipe ChatGPT and start all over again because of a lawsuit. There is this potential lawsuit which could see OpenAI fined up to $150,000 for each piece of copyrighted material used to train the language model. That's upwards of a bajillion dollars, give or take. ChatGPT has made quite a stir over the past several months, especially as users have found various ways to use the tool. The language models basically they've created a web scraping bot that can pull information from websites and train the GPT model. The problem is that OpenAI isn't just relying on freely available and non-copyrighted material. It's also using copyrighted material to train its AI models, and it's been doing so without permission. So if this lawsuit goes through, probably they're going to wipe everything and start all over again. But, and this is I've got a big but here for you, JJ. I think it is too big for that to happen now. It's too big to fail. That would be like the internet being around from 95 to 97 and then going, whoops, we got to start all over again. That ain't going to happen. There's already 10 fucking copies of this fucking
so many
already made that they're like, they're going to fucking make us delete this shit. We're copying it right now. You can't delete it. It's too big.
But then how do you train an AI on, all of the material on the internet except for copyrighted material? How would you do that?
Because there's copyrighted material on the internet. Google,
of course,
picture of cable, and you're going to come across copyrighted material and whatnot. But this, I don't know.
I don't know how you would train it otherwise, because unless you're training like the stupidest AI, because as soon as it's like trained up on the internet and the non-copyrighted material, wouldn't the AI just be like, I'm gonna just Google something. Oh, what's this book? And then like it train itself on more information.
Yes.
I think I think my whole stuff here is just stuck. So I don't know if you can see me or not.
We got another. Yeah, I do. I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, but my camera's working now. Okay.
I have some connection problems this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I got another one here for you, and your wife is a teacher, is a professor, and I thought, man, I wonder, because we've already had this conversation once about how she's already having to battle this a little bit, and was it you that said some teachers are just requiring students on the test to just take pencil and paper and just do it pencil and paper?
Oh yeah.
To get around all that? Well, there is a couple of schools that are teaching Chat GPT so students aren't left behind. And I think this is a brilliant idea because, as you know, I'm a big AI fan, because I don't think that we should use it for everything, but it has been a wonderful brainstorming tool and an assistant to me, just as much as a search bar is.
Right.
All right. Not more, because I can ask it about something specific and it's like an assistant. It will give me, but it doesn't give me it doesn't give me, I don't take what it says. I take everything it says with a grain of salt.
Right.
Basically, but there is classes now that they're saying we need to teach these kids about this tool that they can use now, not to rely on it, but that it's a tool that we need to embrace. What do you think about that?
Well, okay. It certainly is a tool, but if you don't have like a substantial foundation to operate it, then you're just letting the AI just do whatever. You're not controlling it. So you really got to have have to have a lot of things. Like Deacon, in order for you to use it effectively while you're doing your D&D books, right? You have to know about storytelling and about the kinds of things that work and the kinds of things that don't. And you need to know about
I cannot use AI. I could not take the AI right now and open up a new chat and go, I want to create a mobile game based on Dungeons and Dragons in my fantasy world. Go. It don't work that way.
Right.
I don't know coding.
Right.
So if I knew coding, I could be like, we're going to write a code and blah, blah, blah about this right here and do. You're exactly right, JJ. When I go to this book, one of my little things the other day was, if I could scroll up here, I could probably find it, but it was we are doing this. I am doing it this way. Use these points for inspiration and reference. Point. Write it in this format. And then when it spits it out, I'm like, that was good, but change this, and we're going to change this. Or I copy it, put it in a WordPad, and change it myself in the freaking WordPad.
Right.
And then send it on.
Yeah.
So it's not an end-all, be-all, but it is a wonderful tool, especially for people like me. I can't start. I have trouble starting things.
Yeah. Because a blank page is very oh my God, I have so much I have to do. I get that.
Always have
problem. Okay, with that. But if you think that you're going to be able to get some sort of an advantage in the workplace by knowing how to operate ChatGPT, that might work for the next 5 to 10 years, but probably not long after that, because I am convinced that all of the jobs, services, or whatever that are,
welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order, please?
Yeah, right. Even those jobs,
will be AI automated.
All of that. We're talking writing code, writing websites, debugging software, all of the high tech, intellectual type jobs, the brain work type jobs. The AI is going to be able to just do it faster and cheaper. And so if you train to be like, oh, I'm going to be an AI operator, I promise you're going to be like immediately replaced by AI management software. So.
But the problem is you have to have someone to maintain the AI, and you have to have an operator, because the AI doesn't always work properly, and the AI is still in its infancy. The AI is not going anywhere. I messaged an article to a buddy of ours, Sleepy, our buddy Sleepy.
Oh yeah, tell him I said hi. Tell him I said hi.
I will. I messaged him this article because Sleepy is a big Dungeons and Dragons player. I'm gonna show you this article too. Sleepy's a big Dungeons and Dragons player, and we have been a part of, he does 99% of the work. We have been a part of 2 or 3 or 4 play-by-post Discord servers, and they are basically a role-playing D&D server that is a play-by-post. We make a post, you make a post, I make a post, we make a post. That's play-by-post.
Okay.
And it has a, about Discord bots. There's several Discord bots specifically designed for Dungeons and Dragons playing on Discord, and one's called Avery. And Avery or Avria, Avery is a Dungeons and Dragons Discord bot that has all of the information that you need, that does everything with the commands and whatnot. Well, one of the makers of this Discord bot is using ChatGPT, has been a part of this whole big conference, this big conference, and they're using OpenAI's large language models to help with fantasy role playing, specifically Dungeons and Dragons, and they're making this whole new Discord thing to help people play Dungeons and Dragons with AI on Discord. It's a very interesting article. I'll leave a copy of it because you like that kind of crap, and you actually might like to read this to see what's up with it, just because AI might be able to help you with your bots and your type of stuff that you do. Can you imagine if some of that collector shit that you have to meticulously do, if you were like, do this every freaking 30 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, cool.
Actually, I've been using AI to develop some software. So, and rewriting the collector code is like a project I'm working on right now. So I recently, I have a robot on my Discord server. It's on 578 servers and 37,000 users.
37,000
I didn't know.
users.
I had no idea. Anyway, so a long time ago, I used to use it to present like Contest of Champions information really, really quickly and stuff. And then like the Discord API changed, and for various reasons, mostly I have kids and I can't be dicking around with that shit so much. So I turned a lot of that stuff off. Well, I've been goofing around lately, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna run collector up to the latest software, and I might revisit my code base and see if I can elevate. So that's a project I'm working on after my trade show ends next week. So, but I'm using AI to develop it. So I'm having AI generate functions, and I'm having AI like go through my code and be like, oh, you fucked all of this up. Can you fix it? So
I've just got one more story here.
Yeah.
Maybe just one more. I've got a couple more, but we could just go through this one more.
Sure.
Here that I think that you might like, and I wanted to update all of our dads out there watching, and our other folks watching. If you're not a dad, if you're a mom, or if you're just a regular old Joe, if you're older like JJ and I, because we're ancient, you may remember a time in yesteryear when you could get DVDs sent to you by subscription through the mail, and you would watch the DVD and then you would send it back, and the next DVD on your queue, on your Netflix queue, would be sent to you well before the days of streaming. JJ, do you remember that?
Many years ago, I had a Netflix, wasn't it DVD.com or was it Netflix? It was Netflix, but they sent DVDs and then they split it into DVD.com.
So Netflix is fixing to end its DVD business.
Ooh.
All right. This is the business that put Blockbuster out of business, and they are shutting down the doors to their DVD business, all streaming. But what are they going to do with the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of DVDs, Deacon?
That's a lot of product to warehouse.
That is. So if you are a Netflix subscriber and you opt in on their website and you have a queue list, they will send you from 0 to 10 random discs from your queue list.
Oh my.
So if you still have a DVD player and it works and you want 0 to 10 random discs, go to your queue list on Netflix and just put some stuff on there that you may want. Put like Blazing Saddles on there and Spaceballs and some stuff that are classics that you can watch over and over again. And you may get like Airplane sent to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, sweet, now I've got Airplane.
I think you deserve it because you've probably had Netflix for like 10 years, at least $10 a month. So that's like, $2,400 easy that you've given them. I think you deserve a used DVD.
You deserve
a used DVD
a used copy of Bloodsport. Absolutely, John.
Space Truckers. You need a copy of Space Truckers, Dennis.
Killer Clowns.
Yeah.
Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yes, absolutely. That's what you need. All right, I got one thing I want to do here. We don't do comics near enough on here. And this weekend, Deke, I have an account on a website called leagueofcomicgeeks.com. And I went in there a while back and I just went in. They have a barcode scanner. You could scan all your UPC codes, and the ones you don't have, you can just, you can add. And even some books that didn't exist in their catalog at all, I was like, I got this, bleep, and I added a bunch of details and whatever. And I have most of my comic collection logged on this website, which is cool because you can see like stats and which companies you spend money with or whatever. It's pretty neat. So for the last few years, I've been spending my blood money on comic books and stuff. And this week, I opened up a copy of Joe Frankenstein, which is a republication of an IDW book by Graham Nolan and Chuck Dixon. Okay, this is part one. There's a part two that'll be arriving next month. This collects 2 issues of this Joe Frankenstein series. This is pretty cool because in this book, the Frankenstein's monster has been protecting the Frankenstein family line for like 200 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the bride of Frankenstein is a real bitch. And so he's trying to keep the Frankenstein family safe from his bride. It's pretty neat. And you can get this book at Compass Comics. I'll show the website here in a second. I've picked up some other books from Graham Nolan over the years, including Alien Alamo, Monster Island, and the sequel, and as well as Two-Fisted Manly Tales. These are all cool stuff. Compass Comics has a campaign right now for a book. Okay, there you go. For a book right now called The Ghosts of Matecumbe Key. So in this book, it takes place like in Florida, and these private investigators are working on a case, and they're going to have to deal with the undead zombies in the swamps of Florida. Or something like that. So, yeah, now you can go fund these projects on Indiegogo, or if you miss the Indiegogo campaigns, you can buy them from his website here on compasscomics.com. And let me tell you, these little books are great. They are really, really good. They're usually like 48 pages or maybe 64 pages or whatever. And it is a great, it's always a good story. Graham Nolan is an amazing storyteller. So, if it's been like a long time since you've been into comics or whatever, and you're like, I love them, but it's been 20 years or whatever, and you don't want to go buy Spider-Man and watch him kiss a boy or something like that, then there's a lot of stuff that you can check out. I got a lot of them, and you can go check this out, Ghost of Matecumbe Key. And I'll put a link. I guess I'll put a link in the description for to go straight to to this site. So I thought that was cool. And I want to talk, I want to kind of pump up some stuff that there's a lot of indie comics that are out there.
Nerd stuff.
Really,
we don't talk about
really
comic
good.
books enough. I had over the Comic Con over the past weekend when I went, I saw my buddy there, and he was like, what are you reading lately? And I was like, like nothing really. He was like, really? I said, yeah, I was trying to keep up with the X-Men stuff, the new X-Men stuff. I was like, but that shit's got so out of hand that I just don't really even freaking care anymore about. I've just lost all interest in any kind of new Marvel shit that I was interested in. I want something different. I want a fantasy story, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sick of space stories and superheroes. I want a fantasy story. You know, I don't want a fantasy comic book, so I probably need to try to look for one of those. All right.
I put a link
Good
in the chat, and I'll put one in the description.
Good conversation that should have been a phone call this morning, JJ.
Well, you know, I ran out of bonbons before we even started.
I don't even know what a bonbon is.
Oh, yeah, you do. You've seen Peggy Bundy eat them on the couch, eating bonbons.
Oh, that's right. That's right, Peggy Bundy. I started watching that. It's on one of my channels that we subscribe to. And I started watching Married with Children that first couple of episodes. I know they're rough episodes, but I was like, man, this is so good that I get to watch this now, because I watched it from Bud's point of view back in the day, and now I get to watch it from Al's point of view, the dad.
I'm so tired. That's his life. I'm just exhausted.
Well, I sit there like this sometimes at the house. I don't realize I'm doing it. And honestly, I told Ashley, I said, the reason I do that is because my belt is holding my hand, and I don't have to, it's just, I'm nowhere near my junk, you know, I'm nowhere near any of that mess. So and she calls me Al Bundy all the damn time. So I was like, I'm going to watch Married with Children. All right. So join our Discord server and listen to the Divinals. I Touch Myself. That might be our song tomorrow.
Ooh.
And give JJ a song, a joke. I've got a good joke here for you today. Here's our dad jokes. We end the show on dad jokes if you're just now tuning in. JJ, 2 cows are standing in a field. The first cow asks, what do you think of this mad cow disease? And the second cow says, doesn't worry me. I'm a squirrel.
So dumb.
Sorry, I know it was dumb, but I like it.
That's dumb. All right, Deke, why couldn't the motorcycle stand on its own? Ooh, I hit the monitor. Jeez, amateur hour over here.
I'm not going to answer this question because I think I know the answer. Yep. It better not be. Okay, go ahead. Why?
The motorcycle could not stand on its own because it's too tired.
Oh, okay. All right, I got that one. That one's terrible. You got another one?
I got another one.
I hate telling dad jokes.
Yeah, you don't like it?
He usually doesn't get them. I hate telling dad.
Yeah. Here you go. Hang on. There, that's for you. Oh, I can't even hear it. Oh well.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, what do you call cheese that isn't yours?
Nacho cheese.
I know. This is my favorite part of the show. I hate you, but I'll see you tomorrow on our phone call. Bye, everybody.